A lot of people think moving just across the border into South Carolina is an easy win. Lower taxes, bigger homes, more space. Sounds like a no-brainer, right? But here's the part most people do not realize until after they move. What you gain in taxes, you might lose somewhere else that you did not expect. And for some buyers, that trade-off ends up costing them more than they save. So if you're deciding between Charlotte and the South Carolina suburbs, this is what actually changes and what you need to think through before you make that move. On paper, South Carolina looks like the obvious choice. Lower property taxes, sometimes lower home prices, and often you get more house for your money. So naturally, a lot of buyers start there. But here's where things start to shift, because when you move across the border, you are not just changing your address. You are changing your daily routine, your commute, your access to the city, and in some cases, your entire lifestyle. That is where the easy win starts to get a little bit more complicated. Let's talk about the big reason people look at South Carolina: the taxes. Yes, property taxes are typically lower, and depending on your price point, that can mean real savings every year. But here's what does not get talked about enough. Those savings are not always as dramatic as people expect. And more importantly, you have to weigh those savings against everything else that changes. If you've been debating North Carolina versus South Carolina, drop a quick comment. What is the main reason you're considering South Carolina? I'm curious, what is driving your decision? This is the part that surprises people the most. Living in South Carolina usually means one thing: you are crossing the state line a lot, and during peak hours, that can get busy. What looks like a 25-minute drive on Google Maps can easily turn into 40, 45, sometimes even longer, depending on where you're headed. And that's not just time. That's more wear and tear on your car, more gas, and less flexibility in your day. Now, if you work remotely or rarely commute, this may not matter much at all. But if you are going into the city regularly, this becomes a major factor very quickly. Let's talk lifestyle, because this is where things really start to separate. If you live in Charlotte, you are typically closer to restaurants, entertainment, events, and walkable areas depending on the neighborhood. There is a certain convenience to it. Now compare that to many South Carolina suburbs. You will likely get more space, quieter neighborhoods, and a slower pace. But you may also find yourself driving more for everyday things. And for some people, that trade-off is totally worth it. For others, it starts to feel more limiting over time. Think about your weekends. Are you someone who likes being in the middle of things, or do you prefer space and quiet? That answer matters more than most people realize. Another big factor, especially if you have kids, is school and community. Areas like Fort Mill are known for strong school systems and family-friendly neighborhoods, and that is a huge draw. But here's the nuisance. You are not just choosing a state, you are choosing a specific area. And both North Carolina and South Carolina have great options depending on where you look. So instead of thinking North Carolina versus South Carolina, it's more about which specific area fits your life the best. Here is one part no one really talks about. After the move, after the excitement wears off, what actually matters is how your life feels day to day. Not just what you saved, but how long your commute feels, how easy your weekends are, and how connected you feel to where you live. I've seen people go both ways on this. Some move to South Carolina and absolutely love it. Others realize they might miss being closer to Charlotte more than they expected. That is why this decision is not just financial, it's personal. If you are currently deciding between Charlotte and South Carolina, what is your biggest hesitation right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every one, and it will help you to get clear on what actually matters for your situation. Here's the simplest way to think about it. If your priority is maximizing space, lower taxes, and a quieter lifestyle, South Carolina suburbs might be a great fit. If your priority is convenience, shorter commutes, and being closer to everything that Charlotte offers, then staying in North Carolina could make more sense. There's no universal better option, just the one that aligns better with your lifestyle. If you are planning a move and trying to figure out which direction makes most sense, make sure you're not just looking at the numbers. Look at how you actually want to live. And if you want more breakdowns like this, real and honest comparisons that actually help you make a decision, go ahead and subscribe. And that is exactly what I will keep bringing you. I'm Victoria, and I sell houses in Charlotte, North Carolina and the surrounding area. And that also includes into South Carolina. Let me help you find the right house to make a home.